What's up guys, Destin Liguri here again. Yep, they let me back in the studio. Anyway, the Wolverine movie has arrived, and to celebrate, we took a look at our 5 favorite Wolverine games of all time. Last week we did that, so you're gonna have to Google it if you still care. Anyway, now that we've done that, we thought it would only be appropriate if we took a look at the worst Wolvie games of all time. Let's get it over with. Here are the top 5 worst Wolverine games.
Number 5.
Like our number 1 best Wolverine game of all time, this is also a full-fledged Wolverine title. It has Wolverine on the cover. You play as Wolverine the entire game. Heck, even Sabretooth is teased as the main antagonist. And of course, Wolverine can unsheath his claws and eat his favorite food to heal. Hamburgers. Wait, what? Seriously, Wolverine on the NES isn't only bad, it's also one of the most difficult games you will ever put into your console. Which is why we cheated. Thanks, Game Genie. Anyway, aside from the difficulty, there's only 2 recognizable villains in the game, Magneto and Sabretooth. And you'll probably never get to them. All the other enemies are weird invisible guys and random thugs with guns. I will give it some props, however. The music is pretty great, and in some cutscenes you'll get some neat guest appearances from Jubilee and Psylocke. But what happens at the end of the game? What final ending do we get once we knock Sabretooth off a cliff? We get Wolverine staring at us. Angrily. Probably for wasting our lives playing this.
Number 4.
I'm not trying to be that hard on X-Men Madness in Murder World for DOS. But okay, it was pretty awful. Obviously, it starred Wolverine, but there were also a slew of other X-Men that everyone loved, like Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Storm, Colossus, and Dazzler. Okay, maybe Dazzler is a bad example of characters that we loved. The game was more of a puzzle solver, with some absolutely terrible combat thrown in, with guys like Dunce Hat Spider-Man, and the Clowns and Cowboys, you know, from the comics. At least the Sentinels were recognizable, and they nailed Wolverine's personality. Okay, maybe they didn't even get that right. The game was just bad, okay? And you know what's really scary? There's a sequel!
Number 3.
X-Men Ravages of Apocalypse can barely be called a game. It's actually just a mod for Quake that allows you to play as one of Magneto's creations that was conveniently given guns for hands. Of course, most people thought you would play as Wolverine and the other X-Men, seeing, you know, they're the ones on the cover, but nope, that's not the case at all. Wolverine's appearance is embarrassing, to say the least. He shows up, jumps at you, and looks like he was squished into a smaller character model. There is one thing that should be said about Ravages of Apocalypse. It was originally a mod created by one guy, but Marvel heard about it and offered him a bunch of money to complete it in 3 months. That usually results in a good game, right?
Number 2.
At least the developers making number 3 and 4 on our list tried to make something worth our time, but Wolverine Adamantium Rage, which we played on the SNES, is atrocious. It's awful. Just run away if you see this on a shelf. Okay, the music was at least memorable.
Wolverine.
Nope, I'm not even gonna give it that. You can't punch at a usable angle in the first level. You jump every time you press the up button. The controls are a mess, and LJN made it. LJN, if you don't know, is long associated with making the worst of the worst when it comes to video games. Logan could do some cool poses and classic villains are showcased, but no, this game is just abysmal. Don't play it. Look, even Logan got onto a plane just to run away from this pile of garbage. What could be worse than that? Well, there's always...
Number 1.
I don't even know what to say. Sure, Uncanny X-Men on the NES opens up with an X-Men logo, and it even gets the description and powers of the X-Men right, but the similarities to the comic stop there. The second you hop into any of the strangely named levels, an incredibly stupid AI will take control of one of the characters you've selected. The enemies are up there, Cyclops. And you'll proceed to do... You know what? I don't really know what you're supposed to do. Not that. I guess you're supposed to get a key or items of some kind, but what a mess. Not only is it confusing, but do you remember when the X-Men had that amazing fight with butterflies and lost? No, neither do I. Oh, and as for Wolverine's appearance in the game, he's got to be the worst character of all time. Cyclops has eye beams, Iceman has snow he can shoot, and Wolverine has tiny hands that might kill something if you're lucky. What company would put out an easy cash-in just so they could... Oh, there's the LJN logo. God, you guys sucked. And those are our top 5 Wolverine games you should probably avoid because they're awful. Did we miss one? I hope not. But let us know about them in the comments below. And if you like happier things that don't depress you, check out our top 5 favorite Wolverine games. Anyway, for more top 5 things, you know where to keep it locked? Right here on IGN.